The massive 7-team trade that we've been hearing about, including Kevin Durant, Clint Capella going to Houston, is now reportedly agreed upon, with the teams involved include the aforementioned Rockets alongside Phoenix, Atlanta Hawks, Brooklyn Nets, Golden State Warriors, Los Angeles Lakers, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. We've seen Kevin Durant, Clint Capella go to Houston, Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, Daquan Plowden to Phoenix, and David Roddy goes to Atlanta. The rest of the elements of this trade is essentially the picks that were agreed upon and finalized on the night of the draft. So that's really what this trade consisted of. We saw like a mock trade where it was a little bit more interesting than this one. We can talk a little bit, I guess, about the winners and losers of this. I would say the biggest winner is the person that got the most assets, which is Kevin Durant to the Rockets. They definitely won this trade. Brooklyn just getting 2 second rounders, I feel like is kind of a loser. You're just in there just to get seconds. I guess they're for free if you're included into this, but it doesn't really make too much sense. I guess, why not type of situation. Atlanta get a good player or a solid player in David Roddy, some cash, second round swap, not the best. Don't know too much about the Golden State acquisitions of like Alex Tuhey and Jemai Mashak. Not too familiar with those guys. The Lakers get Adu Thiero. They're really high on that player. So LeBron gets some extra help right there. And then Minnesota, Rocco, he's like a 7'3" center. So he's one of like 3 or 4 players in the league that's like 7'3", 7'4"-ish. So he's a really tall player. They get some 2 seconds in this. Talking about the most interesting part of the trade, at least for me, is Phoenix, Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, Kaman Malawach, Rasheer Fleming, Kobe Bria. Like they get an absolute, like they crushed it in the draft. They crushed it on this trade as well. Getting Jalen Green, who's actually the leading scorer on that Rockets team, is a really good pickup. He's way younger than Kevin Durant. I feel like he's just being overlooked because of his name and his inconsistency in the playoffs. That's going to happen when you're only, you're as young as he is. I'm 23 years old. So I feel like when you're as young as 23 years old, your expectation shouldn't be to have super consistency in the playoffs. Obviously we've seen what J-Dub did. It went up and down in terms of his games. And sometimes he would have a 40-point game and then other times he wouldn't. So you can't, place those expectations. Even with a guy like Anthony Edwards, he has a bunch of good games and then he'll have a couple in there that are not as good as what you would want in terms of an expectation. So obviously he didn't step up, but I really like his overall skill set. He's a ball handler. I think he's going to fit really nicely next to Devin Booker there. And then Dillon Brooks adds a bunch of defense. Kaman Malawach adds a bunch of defense, and he's a connective piece that can pass as a center. And he's pretty mobile as well. Rasheer Fleming's, he's just an absolute baller. Kobe Bria, lights out shooter. I mean, I feel like they really, really did well considering that they gave up Kevin Durant in this situation. Adding Clint Capella to Houston is a huge benefit to them as well when they have to face a double big lineup against OKC, or in the playoffs, let's say they're facing against Jokic. They have an extra center just to, throw at him. And especially with the fact that they have their main piece not being able to guard other centers, I feel like adding Clint Capella to the Houston Rockets is really beneficial. This is the largest trade in NBA history from just the total number of teams that are in this trade. And I guess outside of that, there's not too much else. The Rockets obviously signed with their MLE Finney Smith. They can sign him straight up. They also just traded Cam Whitmore to Washington for 2 second rounders, which helps them clear up a little bit of cap. I believe they stay under either the first or second apron, whatever it is. But considering they got Kevin Durant, Dorian Finney, and to be still under the cap space, that's a really big benefit for them. All in all, I feel like the offseason has been pretty wild. Lots of moving pieces. There could be some more trades that we could see. There's a bunch of restricted free agents like I believe Kuminga is still out there. Josh Giddey's still out there. Cam Thomas is still out there. So there's still some names that we could see in sign-in trades and possibilities like that. So there could be some more chaos ahead. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this trade, and peace out.